Welcome to Knowledge Galaxy to rediscover the basics with Mayank Tiwari, a premier coaching and training channel dedicated to metallurgy studies and consultancy. Established to cater the needs of students, degree, diploma, and AIM metallurgy, competitive and recruitment exams for GATE, SAIL, and various other government and private sector companies, metallurgical industries, and whosoever seeking knowledge and information about various subjects and topics of metallurgy, operational process optimization, productivity improvement analysis, concepts like 5S, total productive maintenance, TPM, quality circle, QC, root cause analysis, RCA, ISO systems, QMS, EMS, and OSHAS, practical and effective communication English, written and spoken. My dear friends, the knowledge which I am sharing with you all is very hard earned by me over 20 years of my industrial experience. So I hope you will like the content and please watch the video till the end, since gaining half knowledge is very much dangerous. So please try to gain the full knowledge by viewing the video till the end. Thank you, and I hope you will like the content. So please do subscribe my channel. So to impart practical industrial knowledge as per your specific requirements via tailor-made training sessions for your colleagues, employees, and students, please contact me on knowledgegalaxy26 @ gmail.com or WhatsApp me on +91 99 071 for scheduling and organizing the sessions at your place or via video conferencing. In this video, I will be discussing about the characteristics of raw materials of manganese-based alloys. So, what are we waiting for? Let's start the presentation. Raw materials required for ferromanganese and silicomanganese. These are the basically two major manganese-based alloys which are bulk in nature. So, main raw materials first required for ferromanganese production. First is manganese ore, manganese minimum 40% to 48%, metallurgical coke, fixed carbon 70 to 85%, dolomite, CaO plus MgO whole equal to 50% minimum, iron ore, iron 60% minimum. And now for silicomanganese, manganese ore of manganese 30% to 42% is used. Metallurgical coke of fixed carbon minimum 70%. Steam coal fixed carbon of 45 to 48% is used. Quartz SiO2 minimum 97%. Dolomite CaO plus MgO whole total minimum 50%. And then iron ore of minimum iron 60%. High MNO slag MNO minimum 30% plus is used. So friends, raw materials used for high carbon ferromanganese or silicomanganese production. These are manganese ores of following grades. First grade, that is 46 to 49% manganese. Second grade is 42 to 46% manganese. Third grade is of 35 to 42% manganese. While selecting the manganese ore, the average Mn by Fe ratio of the blend is kept between 4.2 to 5.5. Reductant, pearl coke of fixed carbon 75% minimum and size range of 8 to 25 mm plus minus 5% for oversize or undersize. Flux, dolomite is used as a flux, that is CaO plus MgO minimum 50%, size 10 to 75 mm plus minus 5% for oversize or undersize. Quartzite SiO2 minimum 97%, size of 10 to 50 mm plus minus 5% for oversize, undersize. High MNO slag MNO more than 30%, size 10 to 60 mm plus minus 5% for oversize or undersize. Raw materials in India. The country has adequate reserves of ores to meet the needs of the bulk alloys industry if the policy of control on exports of ores and conservation of mineral by using beneficiated low-grade ores is followed. Raw materials like manganese ore, chrome ore, quartz, fluxes are abundantly available in India. However, Indian manganese ore is predominantly of low grade equivalent to 45%. Let us view the grade-wise availability of manganese ore in India. This pie chart shows us the grade-wise availability of manganese ore in India, as is very much seen that the major quantity is of low grade, that is 46%, and the dioxide grade, that is the highest grade of manganese ore, it is available only 2% in India. Rest are medium and high. So we can very well conclude that manganese ore of India available is predominantly of low grade. So let us look how a manganese ore stockyard looks like. This is the manganese ore are stacked in the stockyards with proper nameplates distinguishing them from each other. Let us now discuss something about physico-chemical properties of manganese. Manganese is an element of 7th group of Mendeleev's periodic system of elements. The Earth's crust contains 0.090% of manganese, which is 12th as to its occurrence among the elements. Manganese is not found in elementary state in nature and occurs only in the form of compounds with other elements. These are mainly oxides, carbonates, and silicates. Pure manganese is a brittle, silvery, white metal with the following physical properties. Atomic weight is 54.93, specific gravity is 7.2, melting point is 1244 degrees Celsius, boiling point is 2150 degrees Celsius, valency is from 2 to 6. Manganese possesses a very strong affinity to oxygen and sulfur. Iron ore and manganese are soluble in all proportions in solid as well as in liquid state. So they can be said that iron and manganese are very much close friends. Manganese doesn't give any chemical compound with iron. Manganese combines with carbon to give a stable carbide, that is Mn3C. Mn3C and liquid manganese are soluble in all proportions. Together with silicon, manganese forms several silicides, Mn2Si, MnSi, Mn2Si3, etc. The most stable among these is MnSi. Silicides of manganese are stabler compounds than Mn3C. Since the heat of formation of MnSi from the elements is 14,000 calories, while that of Mn3C is 3600 calories. Silicon therefore displaces carbon in its manganese compounds and gives birth to MnSi. The higher the silicon content in the alloy, lower the carbon content. My dear friends, this is the principle governing production of silicomanganese and ferromanganese with low carbon content. So you should always remember this. This graph shows the relationship between silicon and carbon in the silicomanganese. As can be seen that the optimum silicon content, that is 16%, carries carbon up to 2.6% maximum. Manganese forms 4 compounds with oxygen: manganese monoxide MnO, manganese protooxide Mn3O4, manganese oxide Mn2O3 and manganese dioxide MnO2. The formation of these oxides is accompanied by the generation of large amount of heat as per following reactions. First, Mn plus O2 is equal to MnO2 plus 1,25,000 calories. 4 by 3 Mn plus O2 is equal to 2 by 3 Mn2O3 plus 1,55,000 calories. 3 by 2 Mn plus O2 is equal to half Mn3O4 plus 1,66,000 calories, and 2 Mn plus O2 is equal to 2 MnO plus 1,85,000 calories. MnO2 is black amphoteric oxide. The remaining oxides are basic. Mn2O3 is blackish brown and Mn3O4 is dark red in color. The established oxide is MnO, which is deep green in color. A very important property of manganese ores is that it is friable in nature and crumbles or decrepitates into the fine particles with the rise of temperature. The former Soviet Union accounts for more than 50% of the world's reserves of manganese ores. The largest deposits of these ores are in the Chyatura area in Caucasus and the Nikopol area in the Ukraine. It should be stressed that manganese ores are one of the chief sources of raw materials used in extractive metallurgy. Over 90% of the world manganese ore output goes to the metallurgical industry. The main manganese minerals are pyrolusite MnO2, a mineral black in color. Second, manganite Mn2O3.H2O, it is grey steel in color. Third is silomelane MnO, BaO, CaO, MgO dot MnO2 dot NH2O. This is light steel in color. Hosmenite Mn3O4. This is brown to black in color. Brownite Mn2O3. It is brown to black in color. The chemical composition of ores and concentrates from the principal manganese deposits of former Soviet Union are given in the table. This is basically for the theoretical importance and extra knowledge sharing. Considerable importance is given to the assay of phosphorus in the ores, as phosphorus to a great extent reverts to the alloy and worsens its grade. This table basically shows the chemical composition of various manganese ore deposits. So the details you can see in this slide. So let us now discuss something about health hazards of manganese. Due to environmental health concerns and health hazards, ferromanganese market is expected to experience threat to some extent. High level of exposure to ferromanganese in drinking water, that is called manganese poisoning, is allied with reduced intelligence quotient and intellectual impairment in children. In case of human health, inhalation or ingestion of ferromanganese leads to a rare neurological disorder known as manganism, which is a restraint to the growing ferromanganese market. For the economic and efficient production of ferromanganese, following are the most desirable properties of the manganese ore. The manganese content of the ore should be as high as possible. Productivity of the furnace and manganese recovery rise while specific power consumption drops with the manganese assay increase in the ore. Second, Mn by Fe ratio should be as high as possible. This is one of the prime factors that determines the grade and quality of manganese ore. The silica content of the ore should be as low as possible, preferably below 11%. Otherwise, manganese slag losses, specific power consumption, and slag fault increases while furnace efficiency drops. Ores with a high silica content may be used for the manufacture of silicomanganese. Ordinary manganese ores are used for the manufacture of metallic manganese in electric furnaces, while only very rich and pure uncontaminated manganese ores may be used for the aluminothermic method. Fine metallurgical coke and coal are used as reducers in the smelting of carbon, ferromanganese and silicomanganese. Quartzites are used in the manufacture of silicomanganese to ensure a standard silicon content in silicomanganese. To avoid slag increase, the reducers should be low in ash content. Silicomanganese is used as a reducer in the production of low carbon grades of ferromanganese. Iron chips are added to the mixture when carbon bearing ferromanganese is smelted by a flux free method. Let us now discuss about typical analysis of raw materials used in manganese alloys production. My dear friends, this table shows the major ore sources and their typical analysis, which is used for high carbon ferromanganese and high carbon silicomanganese production across various producers in India. Let us now discuss something about reductants used in manganese alloys production. Coke is most widely used reductant in ferroalloys production. Ferroalloys consume roughly around 0.6 to 0.7 tons of reductant per ton of ferroalloys produced. Coal and coke of Indian origin suffers from high ash and volatile metal content. Due to non-availability of low ash, low phos metallurgical coke, Indian ferroalloy industry depends on imports. Stricter environmental controls in many countries have also put merchant coke batteries under long-term threat of closure. Increased demand for coke in China and curtailment of coke exports has led to shortage of coke in India. High and rising coke costs globally. This is also a very big threat for the Indian manufacturers. The high ash and volatile matter contents of the reductants have adverse effect on the furnace operation. The resistivity and reactivity of the reductants also has very significant effect on productivity of the furnaces. The high sulfur and phosphorus contents of the reductants adversely affect the quality of ferroalloys produced. Metallurgical coke from steel plant and other coke making plants along with non-coking coal are used for the production of ferromanganese alloys. Typical analysis of reductants used in manganese alloys production. My dear friends, this table shows the typical analysis of reductants used in manganese alloys production. Locally available reductants following the same price trends affecting the input cost of ferroalloys. It is a big threat since the cost of reductants is high and ever increasing. Indian ferroalloys industry is further burdened by high level of import duty on coke and second anti-dumping duty on low phos met coke. Hope you liked the content and found the video worth. So please don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. My dear friends, please do subscribe my channel and do watch all my videos in the channel to gain complete knowledge about the subject. Also remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the notification of the new videos promptly. So my dear friends, thank you very much for watching my video. Please do share, like and subscribe. This will help me and also you will gain knowledge Thank you very much.